everybody, Ryan Carruthers here again. We had a little technical difficulty. I think it's been all sorted out. And I'm happy because I'm here with your Future Stars Friday forecast, and we have a lot to talk about. We had grade 1 2-year-old action this weekend. What a performance we saw from Jackie's Warrior, getting, I believe, a 95 buyer, staying perfect and winning the grade 1 Hopeful Stakes. This is following up a victory in the Saratoga Special. Very special horse indeed. In the grade 1 Spinaway, we saw Nyquist, who won the 2015 Breeders' Cup Juvenile and then went on to win the Kentucky Derby. He's one of only 2 horses to have ever done that, the other one being Street Sense. To have a daughter, Bequist, win the Spinaway Stakes. And then over in California at Del Mar, in the Del Mar Futurity, we saw Dr. Scheibel get the better again of Spielberg, and Best Pal winner Weston back in 3rd. But for me, the performance that really stood out in terms of these grade 1 2-year-old races was the closing kick we saw from Princess Noor. And when I say closing kick, it's not like she had to close over their horses in a dramatic way. It was just she was in the stretch relishing what she did. In fact, I have the replay for you. We're going to watch it right now.
Lot more money at the rail. Let's get on the bus. And being pulled up again, My Girl Red is out of the race. 5/16 to go, and here comes Princess Noor getting serious now, and she cruises up on the outside, and Princess Noor assumes command. Forrest Caraway tries to kick on with her, and Illumination is back to 3rd. It's a distance back to the other 2. Get on the bus and roll up more money. Off of the turn now, furlong to go, and Princess Noor asserting herself, and she opens up on Forrest Caraway, and it is Princess Noor. What a sparkling performance, brimming with potential, and it rolls right into a grade 1 win, geared down in the Del Mar Debutante. Forrest Caraway 2nd, Illumination 3rd, then get on the bus and roll up.
Okay, so Princess Noor, yes, she was green. Yes, there was an issue coming out of the gate. Yes, we did see My Girl Red pull up. She's fine. She's fine. Completely sound. But that all being said, what you saw there was legitimate. That filly, that just the way she runs with such relish. It really reminded me, I know different surface and a different style of running, but it really reminded me of when I first saw Enable and that type of just want that she ran with. These are horses who love what they're doing. Right there, you saw her with Victor Espinoza aboard, trained by Bob Baffert, and she has a very interesting connection to my special guest, who I am bringing in right now because, gosh, I love getting his insight. He's one of my favorite guests. I've had him on the show now. I think this will be number 3, but always a good time. Welcome, Jason Loutsch.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Okay, so I know the connection to this filly. Why don't you share with our viewers?
Yeah, what an exciting race that was. When Not This Time was retired, and we were going to put him as a stallion at TaylorMade Farms. Dennis and myself went to the January sale at Keeneland, and we tried to find 10 quality mares that we could breed Not This Time too, that would just, give him every chance to be a stallion. And for us, it was exciting. She's a Smoke Show was one of the very first mares that we bought that year and put them in full to Not This Time. And then the following year, we did sell her in the sale in full. And then luckily for the buyer that bought that mare, she produced this Princess Noor. And what an outstanding filly she looks like she's going to be. And we couldn't be more proud of her and Not This Time. And so far our plan is working, and it's just exciting to see something that a plan that you put together it's coming out and seeing a result like this. It's just amazing.
Well, one of the things that I thought was so fitting is the fact that she is named Princess Noor. For those of you who don't know, in Arabic, Noor, and there was a famous horse named Noor, it means light. So this is a filly I could definitely see dazzling us come Future Stars Friday. Now, you will have to go up against her, and we'll discuss that why in just a moment. But before we move forward, let's talk about Not This Time, because it's really exceptional what this horse has done in just his freshman season. He himself won the Iroquois Stakes, and this was back in 2016. And later that season, we saw him put in a tremendous performance in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I have that replay, but before I show it, one of the things that you will definitely notice right off the top, and I'll let you discuss it right now, actually, is that start. How impactful was that into what actually resulted in the race?
Yeah, he started from the 10 hole. Obviously, that's a challenge at number one when you're going a mile and 16th with a full field. And then he just started about 2 steps slow and got behind a tremendous amount of traffic, and he couldn't get the position that we wanted. And when you get beat by a head, I mean, that's a huge deal. And so, if he could have braked sharply and stayed a lot closer to the pace, I would be talking probably about a Breeders' Cup winner and a 2-year-old champion. So it was a big start for us that we didn't relish. So it was disappointing.
No.
He ran so big. It was one of the best from a numbers perspective in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile ever. And if he would have ran that race any other year, I think he would have won. But he ran into a monster in Classic Empire, and congrats to him because he ran a heck of a race.
He did. But let's show our viewers this race, and you will see. People who are familiar with horse racing, have watched it for years, you'll know right off the top, oh, of course, this definitely was a huge hindrance to him in the race. For those of you who are new to racing, this is just what is so key regarding a start. You can have a race that is at a distance around 2 turns, but the start can still have an impact on that final finish. So take a look, again, watch very closely the 10 hole coming out of the gate in the 2016 Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
This is tough for me to watch.
I know, I'm sorry. There's so much good. There's so much good that's happened since.
I know.
So it's gonna be all right. I'm virtually holding your hand. Here we go.
All right, they're all in line here for the Juvenile. Ready for the start. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And Cindergaard comes on running with Theory and Classic Empire. They're all going out to the lead. 3 Wolves is right there too. Gormley 5 deep as they make their way for that turn. Now this time's not far behind. He's only 4 lengths off the lead, and then Practical Joke and Clip Star Empire on the outside. Term of Art and Looking at Lee. It is Cindergaard in front. And Cindergaard fires off an opening fastball fraction of 23 seconds flat and heads onto the backstretch in front a half a length. Classic Empire on the outside second, and then it's 3 Wolves, the undefeated Colt third on the outside, while Theory is down toward the inside of Gormley. Not this time is covered up. He's now 4.5 lengths off the lead. He's going to split those 2, and then it's Practical Joke who's on hold, 4.5 lengths off the lead, clear of Klimt. After that comes Star Empire on the outside, looking at League and Term of Art, or at the back of the field. 46 and 3.5 mile for Cindergaard, who heads into the far turn in front. Classic Empire bearing down on him on the outside, and the 2 of them hook up with 3 furlongs to go. 3 Wolves under a drive. So too not this time. Robbie Alvarado wants more from him. Now he takes third. He's still 2 lengths off of Classic Empire, who has taken the lead from Cindergaard. Classic Empire is on top as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Cindergaard full out. Not this time, swings up on the outside. Practical Joke is coming too. In between horses, needs a spot through there. He's going to have to switch outside. Classic Empire, 2 lengths in front of Not This Time. Practical Joke is third. 16th to go. Classic Empire, here comes Not This Time. The 2 of them will decide the Juvenile. Here's the wire. Classic Empire. Hold on.
I still get chills watching that.
How could you not? And you had to think he was going to get there.
Yeah, and you talk about the start. If we get the start the Classic Empire gets, we just had to use so much more horse to get up closer to that pace into the first turn, so we didn't get stuck 4 or 5 wide. And that was the difference in the race. I mean, It was just the start, like you said.
Well, you even hear in the race call that Not This Time is covered up. So it's so important. Again, people, it doesn't matter about the start if it's yes, it does, because you need to be able to position yourself. And he just wasn't able to get the edge there. But that stride coming down the stretch, so impressive. He's such a beautiful son of Giants Causeway. 2000 Carte Horse of the Year in Europe, comes over here and puts in a gallant 2nd place finish in the Breeders' Cup Classic to one of your favorite horses, Tis Now.
Yes, Tis Now, and those are 2 of my most favorite horses is Tis Now and Giants Causeway. I just love what they did on the racetrack, and the babies that they throw out are just beautiful. So I've had a real liking for those 2.
Do you feel, even because you still own part of Not This Time?
Yeah.
Do you feel almost this sense of reward in that here he is? He's already got, off to an amazing freshman season at stud here with a grade 1 winner now in Princess Noor, amongst a lot of other winners who have been impressing coast to coast. Is it all the more rewarding that he is sort of taking up the torch for his late sire?
Yeah, it's really rewarding. We thought so much of this horse on the track, and Dale was, who's always optimistic, but thought one of this was maybe his best 2-year-olds he's ever had. And for him not to be able to show his true talent for, the rest of his career was very disappointing. But this, you can just tell by what he's thrown into his offspring how talented this horse was. And we just can be more excited. Out of our, we own the mare that Miss Macy Sue. She's that's the reason we're in this game. She started us off with just a tremendous sense of accomplishment and took us to places I never dreamed of. And then to have her babies, Liam's Map and Not This Time, doing what they're doing in the Stallion Barn. It's just, to me, it's just she's superb.
No, definitely. I mean, Miss Macy Sue herself, grade 3 winner, won the Winning Colors Stakes, the Presque Isle Downs Masters. She was so fast. I mean, she set a new track record, 6 furlongs in 108-1 in the Presque Isle Downs Masters. I mean, she won the Sailorville twice. Just a really talented mare by Trippy. And as you just mentioned, Not This Time is a half brother to Liam's Map. In fact, that's the inspiration for his name.
Correct. Yeah, we that was probably one of the worst business decisions I've ever made. At the time, it looked like it was a great deal, and my father-in-law was really happy with me when we sold Liam's Map for $800,000 at the yearling sale. But wow, what a career he turned in, and winning the Breeders' Cup Mile in that race.
And I have that replay.
Oh, let's watch it. That's a fun one. Yeah.
Let's watch it. Liam's Map setting a track record.
And they tried to beat him. They tried to cover him up, and he wasn't going to allow it to happen.
I know. He's so gutty. So let's go ahead. We're going to share the screen again. We're going to share the audio and hit the Chrome tab and find it right here. 2015 Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile at this year's host site for the Breeders' Cup, Keeneland.
Third has to catch Lee coming off the far turn. Lee has the lead by 3. Liam's Map takes aim into the final furlong of the Las Vegas Dirt Mile. Liam's Map just keeps striding forward and takes the lead from Lee. Red Vine is third, but it's Liam's Map and Javier Castellano to take it. Lee was home second, Red Vine third, and Wicked Strong from the outside got fourth in 134-2.
Now,
you can see that stride there. You can see it, couldn't you? It was just beautiful. Yeah. He was such a great racehorse and all heart, and he's doing tremendous in the Stallion Barn. I'm in that picture somewhere, but it's somewhere. Yeah.
I see Nick Bush.
Owned by Teresa Viola Racing, West Point Thoroughbreds, and Lanes Inn.
I see Bobby
Fly by Todd Pletcher.
Yeah. You're in there. As a breeder, we had to jump in there.
Liam's Map,
how many times can you say you breed a Breeders' Cup winner? So it's pretty exciting for us.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sorry. I would have muted the audio there so I could hear you over it. But yeah, I mean, and the other thing that was so impressive with that win too is he set a new he set a record in there, 134 and change, and he did it in the stretch on the wrong lead. He didn't change until late.
No, I know it. He was so talented. He was so talented, and yeah, it was a great day for us to see that, and this goes back to Miss Macy Sue. She was awesome.
So again, talking about Not This Time, so it comes time to name this colt by Giants Causeway, and did the name just come right to you, or?
Absolutely, this one's not going to be for sale. Not this time. We're not going to let this one happen again. And thankfully, we kept this one because he's going to be hopefully the future star, of our stable, keep us going for a long time. And we think he's just got a tremendous chance to be one of the great stallions if he can continue to do what he started. This first year has just been, I tell you, it's so fun for me to get up every morning and look at the entries to see how many Not This Times are in, and I tell people all the time it's almost more nerve-wracking watching his babies run than it's my own. It's just so much fun for me. And like today, there's a race here in an hour. I have no ownership in it, but I just can't wait to watch. It's a race at Presque Isle Downs, a 2-year-old Not This Time, and I love it. It's just so much fun to see his babies run, especially the ones that look like him. It's exciting.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that because he's one of these studs that's really stamping them. with his own attributes. And here's the crazy thing. I'm just sitting here looking at it. It is nuts when you think about the fact that this horse stood in 2020 for $12,500 at TaylorMade.
You said did, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be did. It's gotta be did, right? It has to be
That's a conversation that we're gonna have next week with the TaylorMade boys. I'm excited about that. I'm just so excited. My father-in-law has invested so much money into this business, and for us to see rewards like this, and as one of your homebreds to potentially creep up your stallion rate, and it's just exciting. It's just so much fun, and I'm happy for the success of Dennis, because he's, like I said, he's put a lot back in this game, and he's real excited for this. Not this time.
Well, why don't you take it back? How did you all start off in horse racing?
Yeah, we started off our track. I'm locally in Des Moines, Iowa here, so we have a local track at Prairie Meadows, and we had a friend ask us if we would like to buy a couple horses at the Ocala sale. And, we didn't, I grew up around horse racing, loved horse racing, but never dreamed that I'd be an owner someday. And they went down the sale and purchased a couple. And our first horse was Miss Macy Sue. We bought her for $42,000 at the June sale, what a bargain that was, $42,000. And then I thought, man, that's a lot for a horse, but in today's market, that's not much. And, to have success in your first horse, something like that, and take us to the Breeders' Cup Mare Sprint, and Churchill Downs won the winning colors and won the Prescott match. She just spoiled us, and thankfully that was a good deal, because it really got the bug for us, and we took off from there and just started buying more and more horses, and it's just been great ever since.
Well, it's remarkable. So now, not only did she have success on the track, her progeny has had success on the track, Breeders' Cup success on the track, and her son, not this time, is now #1 freshman sire for winners. That's got to feel incredible.
Yeah, it sure does. It's real exciting. Like I said, every day I get up just to see how many we got running, and I just think as we get further in the year and they start going further, they're even going to get a little better. To have him show us the precocious as 2-year-olds to run those 4, 5, and 6 furlongs and have these many amount of wins, I think it's a great sign, because I really think they should be bred to go 2 turns. So that's when they really start running. That's
going to be incredible to watch. So, I mean, talk about it. Okay, well, let's say this, and we'll just get this out of the way. Obviously, it was Kentucky Derby week that we're just coming off. The 1,000 words, he kind of, didn't make the gate. He's fine.
Yep, he's fine.
So he's fine. But wouldn't you still say, even though everybody wants to run the Kentucky Derby, but even though you didn't get to run the Kentucky Derby that day, wouldn't you say it was still a winning week for you? Because you picked up the Pocahontas Iroquois double. Hello.
Yeah, it was a tremendous weekend, and plus we won those 2 races, and we have the Kentucky Derby left, and we're sitting here thinking, man, maybe this is the year that we're going to do this thing. Maybe we could hit are we going to hit the trifecta at Churchill Downs, win 3 graded stakes, and cap it off with it? And he's getting bet on the odds board. He was owning Morning Lions 15-1. He's down to 9-1 at one time, and all of a sudden you're thinking you're the 3rd or 4th favorite in the Kentucky Derby. You're thinking you have a live shot, and we were real excited. He was training great. Bob was happy with him. We had a good post draw. Everything was going right, and this game will teach you in a hurry that enjoy the good moments, and things can turn in a hurry. And when he got in that paddock and had a little issue, it was I saw it all happen right in front of me, and my father-in-law, I said, Dennis, we have to scratch. Once you go, you do that in the paddock, it's a state rule that you have to scratch. And he didn't believe me. He's like, no, they're not going to scratch a Kentucky Derby horse. I'm like, no, they're scratching. And then they make the announcement. And, it was very sad. And but at the end of the day, I told Dennis, we've had a tremendous weekend. Mm-hmm. We're not going to get a run in the Kentucky Derby. Thankfully, we've run three of the last 4 years before that.
Yeah.
Let's be thankful for what did happen, and winning the Iroquois and the Pocahontas in the same weekend on Derby weekend at Churchill Downs. It was just a tremendous weekend for our family, our stable, and we have so much to look forward to going into the fall. So we're going to keep positive about it. 1,000 words came out of it. That 1,000 words came out. He was okay. Unfortunately, Jimmy got hurt during the whole deal, which he's a great guy, great trainer for Bob, assistant trainer, and we felt terrible about that. But all things considered, it could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, it's just, again, it's very, very much something that you move forward from, knowing that you will go on to fight another day. Do you know what the plans are for Thousand Words going forward?
Yeah, Bob left him and Finnick both at Churchill Downs. Bob's going to be there for about two more weeks with all the sales going on right now.
Right.
And so Bob's going to monitor him and probably get a work in him before he leaves. But he switched over to D. Wayne Lucas's barn while he's gone at the sale, and he'll keep him there. And if everything goes good, when he trains well, and I think we'll take a shot at the Preakness. I mean, why not? That's the last really 3-year-old race of you can run in, and it's going to be a tough race, full field. But like I said, you only get one chance.
For him though, too.
Yeah, you only get one chance to run in these races. You might as well do it.
Here's my question also. What do you account for that huge buyer jump of his in the shared belief? Because he really, not only did he win, but 104 buyer.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is the time we gave him off after his disappointing Oaklawn race, and he ran in, I think it was April or May 2nd. I think it was. And Bob Cullen was very frustrated with the horse, and he says, "You know what? We're going to give this one more chance. We're going to give him 30 to 45 days off, clear his head, put some weight on, and just get him happy again." And, his breeding suggests that he would really get better as the older he gets. And so we give him some time. Yep. We give him some time. Bob got him happy. And the bottom line is he's had talent the whole time. He just wasn't a happy horse. And as you saw on Saturday, he can get pretty frustrated pretty easy. But no, Bob did a tremendous job of training him. And Bob told me before the share belief, he's going to run big. The horse is training great, and he's really starting to mature. And this is the time of the year that you can really take those big steps.
Yeah.
When you start going from a 3-year-old to a 4-year-old. So he did that, and the numbers, they are what they are. Sometimes you think they're maybe inflated, but the bottom line is he was a happy horse, and he was running, and he had a lot of talent. And Bob always thought that he was bred for 1.25 miles. So we were disappointed because we didn't get to see that. But the good news is he's going to get a run again.
Right. And you're going to have to think that, whatever you think of the number, it's got to be, the class is legitimate because, he won that race. We saw Honor AP close and just miss. But Honor AP, based upon Marshall Graham put out this really interesting Trackus data regarding the Kentucky Derby. And Honor AP actually, if you account for ground loss, ran the fastest time in the race. I
believe it. He's an awesome best looking horse I've ever seen. He's gorgeous. He's so gorgeous. And he had the worst trip by far, and getting stuck wide and coming out of the gate. We don't need to talk about that. He got slammed pretty hard, and so he got the worst of it. And he showed his class and closing, and almost got third still with all the trouble he had. So, and we thought we could, we competed against him and actually beat him the last time. So we felt like we were in good company, and we were sitting on a big race. I thought, Bob had both of his horses tightened up and ready to go. And obviously you've seen what Finnick did. I'm not sure we could ever caught him, but I think we could have been really respectable.
Isn't that crazy though? Because we were all thinking, I was a doubter. I admitted it publicly. I was wrong. I was wrong. That horse. Go ahead.
Me too. After I saw the Travelers, I didn't think any way he could get 1.25 miles. And I guess what everyone thinks of Into Mischief is he's obviously one of the best stallions in the world right now, and he's a sprinter. He can get 1 mile 16th, but you don't put anything. What I've learned is you don't put anything past Bob Baffert. He's the best trainer in the world for a reason.
Yeah, if you look at that work tab and what he was, the stamina he was building in the horse, just in terms of being able to take the work regimen and then go into the race like this. I think he had a mile work ahead of it, a couple works back. He's just also, he was a horse that it was a matter of he's fast, he can get the lead. If you don't push him, if you don't pressure him, who's going to stop him at that point? And he just went on with it. So it was so impressive. And
he didn't break great either. I thought he kind of break the steps slow, and he had to use a lot of horse to get up where he wanted to go. And I'm like, when I saw him going in the first turn, I thought, I told you before, I just thought Tiz Law had this race won. He was sitting just right behind where he. Mandy did a great job of getting him in position to where he needed to be, and it looked like to me going to the first turn, wow, Tislaw is going to be tough to beat. And
I know.
He held them off. What a tremendous race that Thunik ran, and congrats to Bob, because it was a 30 minutes of tough times for Bob. He loses his assistant trainer. His horse gets scratched from the Kentucky Derby, but then his other horse wins. What a range of emotions.
Oh, for sure. And you know, the thing is too, those fractions were legitimate that he showed. So it wasn't even a matter of, oh, he went slow and so he had tons in the tank to keep on going. I mean,
I think I heard it was the 7th fastest Kentucky Derby ever.
Nuts. I did not see that, but that's nuts if that's the case. And I mean, I guess one of the things we have to remember too is every horse is going to be different, depending on breeding and the way that a pedigree comes together. And so, yeah, you've got the Into Mischief in there, but we always have to remember Into Mischief's a half to Beholder, who's a 4-time Eclipse champion. She's by Henny Hughes, and she won the Pacific Classic. You know. And obviously, we all know the rest of her resume as well, being Breeders' Cup winner at 2 years old in the Fillies, and then winning the Distaff over Songbird. Although there's the conspiracy theorists out there that always joke around that Songbird won that. But in any case, I mean, it was a really, really solid performance, any way you want to look at it. Were you? I know with everything going on, it would have been hard to enjoy it, but were you able to watch the race live? It was
we actually got scratched, 15 minutes before the race. Right. And Churchill was kind of, they weren't going to let you leave with the riders outside. And so I told Dennis, I said, hey, let's go to get the best seat in the house. Let's go back to our seats on Millionaire Row where we were up and sit on the balcony and watch the Kentucky Derby with no one around. This will never happen again.
How surreal.
So we had the best view of the whole place. And that's why I said, when I saw Tislaw get that positioning, I'm like, wow, it's going to be tough for him to not win this race. And I was surprised at how it finished, but it was neat to see it from that up high like that with no one around. It was just the weirdest feeling, but still enjoyed the heck out of it.
Well, the other thing is too, a lot of people, my friend Dan Torgman, and I agree. It was just so weird because, we saw Tislaw win the Traverse Stakes, and it didn't look like it took a lot out of him to do it. But even Dan was still a little concerned. As easy as the victory appeared to be, going 1.25 miles in a Grade 1 race is going to take something out of you, maybe a little of the starch. So he was thinking maybe the horse just peaked at the wrong time. Now, with you being so involved in running at the top level of the game for so many years, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at him and Swiss Skydiver, I would think that you would say the same thing. They both kind of ran the same race, right? I mean, they both ran great races. But they were just maybe a step off, and that was the difference between winning the Oaks and the Derby for both of them.
Yeah, no, this is a horse that there's still no reason not to be excited about Tislaw, but let's talk. Yeah, but we got to talk about the future because we're here for the future stars. And like I said, so you still had a winning week because you had earlier in the week, Girl Daddy win the Pocahontas Stakes. First of all, I know the answer to this, but share with our viewers how she got her name.
Yeah, Dale Romans, we were together unfortunately when Kobe lost his life, and that was a sad day for a lot of people, obviously, and all of us. And he made the quote that he can how much he loved his girls, and he didn't need a basketball team of guys to have a basketball team, blah blah blah. And so he said, "I'm a girl daddy," and so. I have 2 girls. Dennis has 2 girls. Dennis has 4 grandkids. They're all girls. So Dale said to me, he said, "Hey, if you have a filly that you like, let's name it Girl Daddy." And I said, "Oh, done. I got one for you." Barry Berkelheim at the farm told me that we had an Uncle Mo filly that he really really liked, and I said, "Okay, well, Dale, here's the one." And so we named it Girl Daddy, and it's been really special because obviously we love our girls.
Well, see, I didn't know the Kobe part of that equation. I knew that you had girls. I didn't know that part of it. So,
yeah.
Oh my God.
I think when that happened, Tammy Fox, Dale's partner, reserved 2 names, Girl Daddy and Kobe's back or Kobe's number 8 or something. She reserved 2 names right away because they love Kobe. So it was a neat deal.
Gosh. Well, she's certainly impressed. I mean, I know when I started the show, I was talking about the Grade 1 racing action for the 2-year-olds, but the win in your ins were actually at Churchill Downs, that being the Pocahontas, which again, you won with Girl Daddy, and the Iroquois a race you've won multiple times, last year with Dennis's Moment, and then as we discussed earlier in 2016 with Not This Time. But we'll focus on Girl Daddy first because I do have her replay, and I know you'll want to watch it.
This would be number 99 since I've been.
I love it. I love it. Right?
Can't get enough of it.
So we'll give the stats first in terms of, okay, it's a mile race, grade 3 Pocahontas, winning her in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly. She stopped the clock in 1:34 and 4/5, so solid time. Fire came back at 77. I would thought it would have been higher, but it was a stylish 2-length victory. And as you were saying, she's trained by Dale Romans, and we had Joe Talamo up for the second time. She was coming off a win that was very impressive at Ellis Park. What was that? It was the margin 5.5 lengths. Mm-hmm. So actually, before I show this replay, you had to know what you felt about her and giving her a name like that. It was justified on that debut, right?
Yeah, we really thought an awful lot of her. Dale thought, she's a very special filly, and obviously until you get over and run them in the amount of horses and you don't know what they're going to do. But right. She was so true professional. She broke terrible in her first start, spotted the field 5 or 6 lengths, but just she was all professional and just came up on the outside and blew them away down the stretch. And she's been training tremendous. Dale says we still haven't got to the bottom of her. So we're real excited about the future of her. But I only like those buyer numbers when they're good for me. I don't like them when they show 78. So
don't worry about that. And so I also, before I actually show the replay, watch this filly knowing that she has multiple Breeders' Cup champions in the pedigree. As Jason Ory talked about, she's a daughter of Uncle Mo, won the 2010 Breeders' Cup Juvenile, was Eclipse champion 2-year-old colt. And then she's out of Cara Marie, who is a stakes winner, grade 2 place runner, who is a daughter of another Breeders' Cup Juvenile champion in Unbridled Song. Yes, and we know what Unbridled Song went on to do. I mean, he won the Florida Derby, but just that stud, what he left behind in terms of just talent.
There's not a better broodmare sire than Unbridled Song. I just love.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's awesome, and he's missed. But
yes,
I know
sure.
the TaylorMade boys always love it when you can have a little Unbridled Song on that page. So we're excited too.
Oh yeah, and then if that wasn't enough for you, her second dam is a daughter of Hall of Famer and Breeders' Cup Classic champion of 1992, A.P. Indy. So I love the pedigree because I'm just a huge fan of AP. I talk about them all the time. So she's a $500,000 Keeneland September yearling, 2 for 2, looking like she's on her way for definitely return on investment. Let's check her out here. This is Girl Daddy winning the Pocahontas Stakes. A win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Go Chrome tab. I'm gonna make sure I've got the right one queued up. Oh, that's not what we want yet. I have multiple Breeders' Cup screens. So let's see here. Share audio again. Let's go to the Chrome tab. I think it's this one. Yes, here we go.
Stymied in traffic, though. Crazy Beautiful needs to find a way through. It's anyone's race as they come off the turn. Girl Daddy strikes the front. Crazy Beautiful bounced around in behind horses. Now she has clear sailing. Fabricate down the center of the track as well. There's 1 furlong to go. Girl Daddy got the jump on Crazy Beautiful in front by 2.5. Crazy Beautiful running in second. Alexandria's back in third. Girl Daddy's still clear. And Girl Daddy scores in the Pocahontas. Wins by 2.5. Crazy Beautiful was second. Alexandria was third. And then it was.
And that was a really nice field too. For lightly raced fillies, you had injected and end up finishing well, but that really blew the doors off in her debut. And just Girl Daddy.
Yeah, she did a really good race, and it was a grade 3. So I'm not gonna say it was my favorite race of all time that we've won, but it was such a special day for us. My father-in-law turned 71.
Oh, wow.
That was his birthday. To be there at Churchill Downs, to win on Derby week, on his birthday, it was so much fun, and we were just so excited to qualify for the Breeders' Cup, and we can't wait till at one of my favorite tracks at Keeneland. So it's gonna be exciting.
Well, I love the way she gets her head down in there. She's another horse that looks like she's really enjoying what she's doing.
Yeah.
Was the process always telling you, throughout the training process leading up into her debut, did she look like a horse with want the whole time?
Yeah, she does. She's trained tremendously the whole time, and the exercise riders, she's been the star from the day she's arrived, and we're gonna treat her right. We're gonna give her, probably train right into the Breeders' Cup. I just wanted to maybe run her one more time and allow her to mature, put some weight on, and be at her A game when she gets to the Breeders' Cup, and then we'll give her a little break and get ready for the big 3-year-old campaign.
That sounds awesome. So, bred by China Horse Club, ridden by Joe Talamo, trained by DL Romans, and so then she won, and people expected her to be, a horse that you would want to wager some dough on, a horse that actually returns some money. And I hope you put a sizable wager on him yourself.
Absolutely. No one wanted to. I try to tell everyone. No one wanted to believe me. They wanted to look at that buyer number from when he won at Ellis Park, and like, I'm not betting a horse that ran a 40-some buyer at Ellis Park. No way.
These 2-year-olds jump up exponentially. Yeah. And here's the thing, and I wanted to kick myself so bad. Everybody who's listening, Jason already knows this, so I'm not offending him. So I was part of the ABR Live Kentucky Derby show, and the Iroquois was part of the broadcast. In fact, it was the first race we were going to talk about. I had all my notes set up, but Dan Torgman, and I'm going to tell him that I called him out in this broadcast. We were putting together a group team ticket to play because we hit the pick 5 the last time we did it for the TVG Pacific Classic show. At that point, we put together our own pick 5 tickets. Everybody did. And then they just took things where we had overlapping horses that we all had the same. And so that comprised our then ticket that was actually wagered. In this case, he said, just tell me your top 2 picks. So I said, okay, Ride of a Lifetime and that Midnight Bourbon horse. This is why I was mad, because had I actually put together my own pick 5 ticket, I would have had him on there, because in my notes, it said very professional debut. It said, follow directions without hesitation. And he just looked like a professional out there. Right? These 2-year-old horses, that mindset is so important. And he just, like I said, he looked like a pro on debut. Not this time, he debuted at Ellis Park before going on here to win the Iroquois. But it was a 24-1 upset. So, hello.
We don't have too many of those. It was obviously I expected him to run big, but to do it the way he did and win by 2.5 and close from the back, it was a neat, when our other 2 horses have won, it was a mile and the 16th, which when it was a 1-turn mile, it was kind of a disadvantage for him, I thought, because the farther the better. But he showed me that he can win at this distance. He loves to run, and it just showed. He loves his job.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing, though, too. In terms of the price, do you think part of the reason he went off higher than, just something that seems more reasonable considering the performance he did end up putting in, do you think part of it was because we saw Joe Talamo riding another horse instead of him?
Well, that subject's been brought up. I talked to. I'm good. Joe Talamo's agent is Jake Roman, so it's no secret. I called Jake before we entered, and Jake really was torn about. He had 3 horses in there he could have rode. He also broke Pico. I can't remember Pico. Someone was in the race that came from Ellis Park.
Oh yeah. I can't think of the horse's name either, but I know who you're talking about.
He won the Ellis Park Juvenile.
A Curlin horse, I think he's.
Yes. Yep. And so he had 3 horses that were coming off wins that he could have rode. And his dad decided for him and said, you're riding this one. And he thought Lannery just fit the horse the way, Lannery rode its cause for us.
Yeah.
And that was his dad, obviously. And that was kind of the trip we thought we needed, was to come from the back and go through traffic. And he says, I'm putting Lannery on this horse. And so he made the decision for Jake. And Jake wasn't as excited as I was after the race.
Yeah, I'm guessing that to be the case. As you just mentioned, Brody's Cause, again, being a son of Brody's Cause, with whom you won the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity, you won the Bluegrass Stakes, Brody's Cause. In 2015, he was actually 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, so not this time actually improved the position, one more spot.
At Keeneland. At
Keeneland, yes. And so, it's got to feel even more rewarding to see a horse who's a son of one that you campaigned go forward and win a big stakes race like this and put you in position for Future Stars Friday. And not only that, but you got him for like nothing. You got him for a bargain. You signed the ticket for $65,000 at the Keeneland November mid-sale.
Yeah, we bought him as a weanling. When we went to that sale, him and Not This Time Babies were weanlings, and we just want to support our stallions the best we can, and we thought we could, buy a couple of them, and we ended up putting him in the sale the next year as a yearling in the Keeneland September sale, and he didn't meet our reserve, and thankfully he didn't. We kept him, and I'm just so proud of Brody and not this time. I always kid the Spendthrift guys. They always make comment that this is the other Giants Causeway freshman sire.
Yes, exactly.
I always get a big kick out of that because I'm pulling for both of them, and I think they both have a chance to be very successful. The thing with Brody's Cause is, I think he's 6th today on the list as freshman sires, and I think as we go into the fall, you're really going to start seeing some Brody's Causes do really good things, because they definitely want 2 turns, and you saw what this horse did. The farther we went, the better he got, and I think there's a lot of those out there. So I think he's in for a great fall and a heck of a 3-year-old campaign, because we love Brody's Cause and we're excited about what he's going to do with his offspring.
Well, you should be. I know Dale was always very high on Brody's Cause. We should also mention the fact that, as you were talking about, with Brody's Cause being a son of Giants Causeway, Sitting on Go is actually inbred to Giants Causeway because, well, first of all, let me talk about, I guess, first of all, before we get to why there's some inbreeding in there. His dam is a daughter of More Than Ready. And More Than Ready's record in the Breeders' Cup, by the way, so you should like this all the more going into Future Stars Friday. I mean, he has just been sensational as a sire. I think he has the record for the most progeny wins because he's won with More Than Real in the Juvenile Fillies Turf in 2010, Pluck in the Juvenile Turf in 2010, Regally Ready in the Turf Sprint in 2011, Roy H. back-to-back years in the Sprint in 2017, 2018, Rushing Fall. Oh my gosh, what a freak she is, by the way.
Yes, I didn't know that. That's exciting. I did not know that.
Oh yeah, Juvenile Fillies Turf in 2017. Then he had Uni win the mile last year over the boys, and he's also the dam sire of Structor, who won the Breeders' Juvenile Turf last year. So yes. So that's awesome already. But then, so his dam is named Sitting on Go, this daughter of More Than Ready. She was a multiple winner at 2. She picked up Black Type with a 2nd place finish in the Juan Gonzalez Memorial. The second dam is Laughingly, and she's a daughter, like Brody's Cause, of Giants Causeway. So there's your inbreeding right there. And yeah, distance, he's going to love it. Because again, Giants Causeway is Carte Horse of the Year in Europe back in 2000. And as we discussed earlier, the performance he put in 2000 against Tiz Now in the Breeders' Cup Classic, his only start on
Classic,
dirt.
yeah.
I mean, it was just
what a race. What a race. Yeah.
Yes. So there is more grass. So you actually have options going forward when you ever want to. But why change surfaces when he's showing you that he can handle the main track? But we should mention that Laughingly, that second dam's a half sister to Locayan Prince, who is champion sprinter in England and Ireland, and she's also half to Convict Strip, who won the Louisiana Derby in 1998. So I
need to start calling you more for my pedigree stuff. You know a lot more than I do.
That's why they call me the pedigree, right? Oh my gosh, right here. I just looked over at the screen. Pedigree.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. Oh, also we have.
Oh yeah, there's one of my biggest fans right there. Gary's the best. Gary and his brother Steven, they're tremendous fans of ours, and they don't miss a race, and they're big Ellis fans. They go to Ellis Park, and so they've been on our team for a while, and we truly appreciate their support.
Well, who's going to be more excited to watch this replay of Sitting on Go?
Probably me. This I can't get enough of this one either. My kids are getting sick of it at home. They're like, "Dad, you're not watching that again." I already said, "Absolutely, I am."
You can never watch enough. Heck, I mean, when my horse won a maiden claiming, I watched it all the time.
It doesn't matter what level.
It doesn't. Exactly. So we're going to share the screen again. And let's see here. Share audio. Go to here. And then I believe it's this one. Let's see. Oh, nope. That's the wrong screen. I keep showing what's coming up because I'm going to preview some of the races that we've got coming up in the challenge series. So here, let's try this again. I'm going to share the audio. Chrome tab. And there we go. All right. In fact, you know what? Let's back it up just a little bit.
Sitting on Go is launching a rally from far behind, but it's fanned 5 or 6 wide. At the quarter pole, the ride of a lifetime, turning for home in front. Midnight Bourbon to the attack. Notary gives way. Down the center of the track, Sitting on Go continues to close. There's 1 furlong left. Midnight Bourbon comes away with the lead. Sitting on Go continues to close. Here comes Sitting on Go, who's up for the lead at the 16th pole. Sitting on Go up over Midnight Bourbon and Superstock. Sitting on Go, 24 to 1 over Midnight Bourbon, Superstock, and the ride of a lifetime.
You gotta love that.
Oh, it just gives me chills watching those two races. It was to go to. When we got off the plane Thursday, I didn't really think that, I thought maybe we could win the Philly race, but to win both of them and the way they did it, and it's so exciting and gives us so much optimism going into the fall. And this is my favorite time of the year. You're getting ready for the sales, Keeneland, Breeders' Cup. If you're in the horse business, it doesn't get any better than this. And to have hopefully 2 horses that are pointing towards the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland, it's exciting.
Yes, again, the Iroquois being a win, and you're in for the TVG Juvenile. Oh, here we go. 135 flat, well, 6 wide.
That's right, Gary. Gary's always on my team. He ran, I think it was an 84 buyer, which was very respectable, considering what the number was before he ran. And so we know as we go 2 turns and farther, he's just going to continue to get better. So a lot of optimism there, and we're excited for the future of that horse.
Now, we're actually going to talk about some horses that you're also very excited about at Keeneland. But before we talk about them, we have a question from Grant asking, in terms of horses you have in your stable now that you're going to be campaigning yourself, who is exciting you the most, who we haven't seen yet?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think that we have a Go Sapper that's in Dale's barn right now. That is a 2-year-old that actually we let the Facebook world name the horse.
You did.
We put up a naming thing for it, and I forget the name. I try to look at the names, but when you have 70 horses, sometimes I forget the names of all the horses. But it's a Go Sapper, and we're real excited about him. He's got tremendous ability. And then I'll give you one that we have a 3-year-old that hasn't ran yet. It's a Liam's Map called Pirate Rick that's going to run, I think, next week.
Who's Rick?
We're real excited.
And why is he a
Rick
pirate?
That's my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law's brother. We let him name a horse, and he's excited, so he's going to run next week. But these 2-year-olds, they come off the farm, and our kind of our system is 2 turns, so they might not show a lot of promise, when they're working short distances at the farm. But when they get on Churchill Downs and Dale starts working them, he gets really excited. And as we get farther in the fall, some of them are really starting to show that there are some good race horses there. So I'm looking forward to my Go Sapper, and I think he'll be one of the next ones that starts probably at Keeneland or Churchill in the fall.
I'm a huge fan of Go Zapper. Go Zapper won the Breeders' Cup Classic in 2004, set a record doing it. He himself a son of a Breeders' Cup Classic champion in Awesome again, 1998's winner. So you gotta love that. I think the only other father-son duo is now Curlin and Vino Rosso in terms of father-son Breeders' Cup Classic champs. If I'm wrong on that, amazing. I don't think I'm wrong on that, but if I am wrong on that, somebody tell me. But as I was saying, so you were talking about the sales that are going to be kicking off here next week, and you have some really, really good pedigrees here. We're going to talk first off about hip number 143. It's a son of Not This Time, and born January 31st. So he's that's what you want in sales. A lot of times, people will kind of shy away from horses that are born later on in the year because they want to get rolling as soon as they can when they buy some prospective star. But again, a son of Not This Time. He's out of the mare Dream Your Dreams by Tappet. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, that's one of those 10 mares that we bought when we went to that January sale, and this is one of the ones that Not This Time obviously bred, and we're going to put him in the. Is it him? It's her or him? It's him. It's a colt. It's a colt. Yeah. Yep, colt. So we're going to put him in the sale. He sells next Sunday, and boy, I've seen some videos. I'm going to be there Saturday. I can't wait to see him. He looks like he's the part. And, just got a tremendous walk and really well built. And I think he's going to, I think the buyers are really going to like him, and we're excited. Anything that Not This Time. I think he's one of the hot stallions, so we hope he brings some good money.
Well, I think that this was a very smart mare to buy for Not This Time because, as I was saying, Dream Your Dreams is a daughter of Tappet. She's actually also a half-sister to Frost Giant. Frost Giant himself is a son of Giant's Causeway, like Not This Time. So we know that cross of this female family with Giant's Causeway works. Frost Giant himself, a grade 1 winner, won the Suburban Handicap. She's also a half to Breathless Storm, and who was a stakes winner as well, won the Jersey Derby. This is what gets me really excited, though. Also in the female family is Muktadim, who has been a wonderful sire. But also, if you look at the third dam there, Oscillate by Seattle Slew, Triple Crown champion Seattle Slew. Oscillate is a half-sister to another Breeders' Cup champion, and that is 1989's juvenile champ, Rhythm. And I have that replay.
You are amazing.
Come on. I'm the petty geek. I have a reputation.
You do a lot of work for your show. I'm impressed.
Thank you. I take it seriously. So Rhythm, Shug McGahee, you gotta love Shug. Always see especially when those horses have got that cherry cap. Here we go. Rhythm winning the 1989 Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Chris Perrin's confident with him, and here he comes now with his run for the lead. Go and Go is now giving it up. He's dropping back and forth. And now Jose Santos turns Slavic loose, but he's 5 lengths off the lead as they turn for home. Rhythm is set down for the drive. Full out now to hold up the oncoming Grand Canyon on the outside. Slavic is now third. Bellico fourth. Shotgun's got his fifth. It's still Rhythm and correct. Bumping, driving him on. Grand Canyon will not get to him, and Rhythm has won it.
And Rhythm,
make sure to tell Duncan about that so he can give that in the sales pitch next week.
Well, no, there's even more. You know who's one of Duncan's favorite horses? Number to Count. And what you don't see on this pedigree page, by the way, because you just don't see it, because a page can only you can't have the whole catalog be
right.
You can't do it. But that being said, okay, so as I was saying, third dam here is Oscillate. If we continue down the page, fourth dam would be Dance Number. And that means the fifth dam is Number to Count.
Wow. Duncan's
Number to
no wonder he's so excited about selling this horse.
Blue Hen Mare, Number to Count. Number to Count herself, a tail female descendant of La Troyenne. Number to Count is one of the best blue hen mares in our pedigree. She herself, oh my gosh, not only was she USA's champion 2-year-old filly, but she produced grade 1 winners in the aforementioned Dance Number, who is this colt's fourth dam, and Private Account. I mean, she was a horse that she could set track records going along. She was awesome when the Frisette, the Gardenia, the Matra, the Salima, the Spinaway, the Fashion, the Schuylerville, Matchmaker, Spinster, Masquette, Test, Prioris. She was just, excuse the language here, badass. So
I love it.
Yeah, to see her in here as being, again, isn't it kind of sad unless you really do the work beyond a page? You sometimes are missing out. And that's why there's often, this horse right here, it's clear he's black type pedigree, but there are times when it's a situation in which there's a diamond in the rough. Going back to talking about the Del Mar Futurity, for example, the horse that finished third in there, Weston, who won the Best Pal Stakes.
Yep.
His catalog page wouldn't tell you this, but he's related to Rushing Fall.
Right. I did see that.
It's pretty crazy. Now, that's not the only one you have going in the sale in book 1, which is where all the fancy horses are. But you have, Hot Sire, Into Mischief. You have a filly by him out of a half-sister to Liam's Map, and Not This Time. Taylor S., a horse who also campaigned a stakes winner, grade 2 place. Talk about this filly. Taylor S. is a daughter of Medaglia d'Oro. Hello.
Yeah, she is. This filly is bred to the hilt. Into Mischief. What can you say about it? Just wins the Kentucky Derby, gets second in the Kentucky Oaks, and every day you turn on a grade stake race, it's an Into Mischief winning. It seems like so. Spencer has done a tremendous job with him. Obviously, I was just talking to them. We were doing the walkover, and I was talking to this spendthrift folks about Into Mischief and thinking that he was at 7,500 just 5 years ago or so, and now where he's at, he's just unbelievable. And so we bred him to one of our best mares, Taylor S. She's son of half to Liam's Map, and not this time, tremendously bred, and the filly is the yearling is just awesome. And so I think the buyers are really going to like her. It's going to be exciting for us to see her go through the ring, and but it couldn't be bred to a hotter sire right now. So it's really a good time to be selling.
I hear you. Now she goes out as hip 438. And the colt we were talking about is again hip number 143. Now, just curious, is it going to sting, or will you be okay with it with selling a filly who then will still have value as a broodmare later if she does turn out to live up to this pedigree out there? Or will you figure it's okay? It's part of the business.
It's a tough question, and
right?
sometimes you got to make a good, you got to do business, and you have to help, fund the stable a little bit, and we, our goal obviously is to win the Kentucky Derby, and so if this allows us to buy 2 or 3 more colts at the sale, then that's what we have to do. We'll play the market a little bit, see how this Fazek sale goes the next 2 days, and it's just, we're interested to see what the market's like. If she's not going to bring what we think she should, then we'll keep her. I have no problem keeping that kind of filly. So the market will just tell us. If by all indications I'm hearing, there's tons of people at Fazek right now, and so I think the top end horses are still going to sell for big money.
What has been your impression just going through this year with all the different protocols in place, in both the perspective as a racehorse owner and as a breeder and buyer?
Yeah, it's been really tough. Before this weekend, before I went to Churchill, I haven't been to a horse race since February when we ran Dennis's Moment down at Gulfstream. So it's been very challenging, even just trying to place your horses, where to send them, where to run them. It's been very challenging for horse owners, and even the sales, and they've had so much, cancellations, and I appreciate everything that Fazek and Keeneland and even Churchill this weekend trying to get through this has just been, all the things that they did it was awesome, and they were kept us safe, and that's the main thing, and it allowed us to run these races. That was huge this weekend, and they did a great job, and I commend them for all the work they had to do, because it's not been easy for any of us.
No, it hasn't been. And it's just, everything's just been so strange too. I mean, not only, even if you look just at the Derby with what happened ahead of it, like you're saying, the fact that we did see Into Mischief now get a great, get a horse to win the Kentucky Derby at the 1.25 mile distance. But also what happened after he won. Poor Bob Baffert got the brunt of him turning around in the winner's circle. You talked to Bob often. Did he comment on that at all?
Oh yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it. I had to give him a little jab and tell him, ask him what happened, but he was. It was. And now that he's okay, it's funny to watch that replay a little bit.
I know,
we can tease him about it now. So.
Oh, I know. I heard about it while we were doing the show, that Periscope for ABR. And at first I just kind of left because I figured nobody's going to show something if he's seriously hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I caught myself, because it is the internet and people will post anything. So I caught myself. I was like, is he okay? And people assured me he was. But I watched the video back, and you got to give him and Donato credit, because the horse are turning around. I admit, I watched it in slow motion.
Yeah, me too.
Are we bad for doing that?
I was just
trying to figure out what happened exactly. But you can see Bob sort of like turn himself around to like bear the brunt of the horse coming. So he's blocking Jill from getting hit, and Donato's literally yanking her out of the way.
Oh, I know it.
Oh, it was
scary.
crazy.
Well, after what we just saw in the paddock, it was, they were probably thinking, oh my, not this again. So
no, right?
It was, yeah. So they were probably thinking in the worst. So it was, thankfully that Bob was okay. So he's got a long 2 weeks ahead of him at the sale. So.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for your time. This has been so exciting to watch. Horses, especially when you have a connection to their sires, come out and do so well again with Sitting on Go being a son of Brody's Cause. And then we're seeing, I know, Girl Daddy is not, Uncle Mo, you didn't campaign Uncle Mo, but still you've got.
Love Uncle Mo. Yeah.
Yes, you've got such an adoration for that horse. And then just again, I cannot stress enough to you all, keep your eyes on these Not This Time babies. They're just firing. And the other thing that's so fascinating about to me, before I let you go, and I think you would agree with this, you don't know necessarily for a horse's first crop. When you're sending mares, you're going with the idea of what you think is going to fit best. You don't know necessarily if it is.
No idea. It's just, you put a lot of time and effort in trying to find the right mares, but until they start running, you have no idea if you've done is right. And it's so exciting to see the results. And like I said, I just think he's going to continue to get better and better as we go farther. And that's the exciting part for us. And God, just to win a grade 1 in the 1st of September of your first season, it's just outstanding. But he's got some big shoes to fill. Liam's Map won 2 last year, so we got to find another one to at least tie him.
Well, we're going to be keeping our eyes out. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see how the sale goes also. And horses to keep in your stable mail for sure. Remember the pedigrees, remember the dams' names, Taylor S. And the colt is out of Dream Your Dreams. Hey, isn't that a fitting name? That's
right.
Real quick, you want to look at the challenge, what's coming up in the challenge series with me? Let's see.
Yeah.
Here's the challenge series coming up for your Breeders' Cup Winning Your In races. Boom, right there. Got the Irish Champion Stakes this September 12th. It's a Winning Your In for the Longines Turf at Leopardstown. Got the Coolmore America Justified Matron Stakes. Same day, so Winning Your In for the Maker's Mark Filly and Mare Turf, also at Leopardstown. We've got also on September 12th, the Run Happy Turf Sprints. Shocker of shockers, a Winning Your In for the Turf Sprint at Kentucky Downs. And also this weekend, you've got the KPMG Champions Juvenile Stakes, Winning Your In for the Juvenile Turf. And that is at Leopardstown. So there you go, everybody.
Busy month. And I thank you for having me on. It's always great to talk future stars. And if I'm included in the show, that means we're doing something right. So have me anytime. I loved it.
So what race is coming up?
Be a part of it.
Is your race about to go off or not?
We got 3 minutes at Presque Isle Downs. We got a Not This Time affiliate that's going to run that. She's been working tremendous. She got stuck in the 1 hole last time out and didn't run good, but she drew the outside today, the 9 hole, and she's 3 minutes to post. And I got it on my phone next to me, and I think she's going to run big today.
All right. Well, go watch that race, and we're wishing you another score there as somebody with a deeply vested interest in Not This Time. Again, Jason, thank you so much for joining me here on the Future Stars.
Hey, great to be on. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody, this has been your Future Stars Friday forecast. I'm Ren Carruthers. You have a great day. I will see you here next week.